Some songs are timeless. You love listening to them, but you probably don't know why they were written and what meaning they might have, both musically and lyrically.
I'll never forget that image of him doing that.
The history of the devil and the idea of evil.
Something's happened to Sid.
I will save you the trouble of painstakingly researching and reading tons of stuff, and I'll break down the origins of a selection of legendary rock songs, so you can sit back and enjoy. Because believe me, it's a lot of work, so I'm cutting you a very good deal here. If you want me to do other songs, just let me know in the comments. Now, let's get cracking, because you're in for a ride. Is this the best song ever or what? If you don't like it, you don't like rock, just admit it. Stairway is so popular that it's notoriously banned at guitar stores.
Hey!
But it didn't just pop into existence.
I remember during that period, Robert was sort of sitting down, leaning against the wall, and he was just sort of writing. I will never forget that image of him doing that.
The production and music is mostly by Jimmy Page, but he's not the only one taking part in creating it.
We do a run-through of it from beginning to end, with the guitar opening, as we all know. And then Robert comes up and starts to pitch in and sing. And I tell you, it must have been 90% of the lyrics were already done.
Well, maybe it did kind of pop into existence, at least the lyrics. But on top of that, there is the outlandish claim that this song is actually written for Satan, because when you play a part of it backwards, it sounds like this. If we set aside that claim and talk about the music, I don't think I have to explain.
The musicality and the construction of it is it's peerless.
But the lyrics are another story.
Maybe I didn't quite feel the same about the lyrics a little bit later on in life as I got a bit further down the road. Maybe I'm still trying to work out what I was talking about. Every other fucker is, I mean...
The lyrics are very mystical and inspiring, but in terms of what they mean, we'll probably never know for sure, because this is what Robert Plant says. Depending on what day it is, I still interpret the song a different way, and I wrote the lyrics. But if you really want to see a detailed breakdown of the lyrics, you can watch this great video. So yes, it's a little bit of a letdown, that there's no one true meaning we can reveal for Stairway to Heaven. But on the flip side, this is not a bad thing, because when it's not laid down for you, you can let your imagination run wild, like reading a book instead of watching the movie. And the story that you visualize yourself is much more vivid than anything you are directly given. It becomes yours. It becomes you. Maybe, just maybe, that's why you love that song so much. Because you love yourself. Okay, this got too deep. Just know that it's not a song about the devil. Speaking of the devil, now this song was indeed written for the devil. It's the brainchild of Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, one of the most prolific songwriting teams in rock history. Fortunately, this time I've got an actual meaning for this song, but it's kind of an obvious one if you ever listen to those lyrics. It's about the devil.
Well, duh.
It's Lucifer's journey throughout history, about how he caused Jesus to be crucified, the bloodbath of the Russian Revolution, and even the shooting of the Kennedys. But it's also a social criticism because it talks about the devil in people, that the devil is actually people. Wow, we really can't help but get deep, can we? And big surprise. Once again, this song also caused great controversy, because people really thought the Rolling Stones were evil. Why else would you write a song with the title Sympathy for the Devil? Well, it's not shocking considering they thought a song called Stairway to Heaven was written for the devil. But if they thought rock music of the 60s and 70s were evil, I can't even imagine how they would react to what was coming in later decades in metal, especially from peaceful lands such as Scandinavia. Okay, the next song is Wish You Were Here. It's a very special one for Pink Floyd in multiple ways. First of all, part of the meaning is obvious from the title. They wish someone was there.
Well, duh.
And that someone is Syd Barrett.
No one that you ever really would have imagined would wind up the way he did wind up.
He was the original founder of Pink Floyd,
Something's happened to Sid, and something had happened to him. Total difference.
but he fell deeper and deeper into drug abuse and used LSD heavily. And when he couldn't perform as a member, he was eventually replaced with David Gilmour.
And looking in his eyes, it was just like somebody turned the lights out. You know, it was just looked so blank.
They still loved him, and they even took part in his solo albums later on, but mentally, he was beyond help. Still, he had great talent, and everybody around him knew that. Some more than others.
He was living with a whole sort of community of people who were very much believing acid can release you and, you know, get to the truth and all that stuff.
His roommates thought he was a god of some kind and put LSD in his coffee every morning, so he was in a never-ending trip. Some friends, huh?
And that he took too much. He had done so much damage. Because acid, that's what it does to you. Too much acid would literally fry your brains.
So yeah, the song kinda has a sad story behind it.
I can't sing it without thinking about Sid.
But if you still want to follow the trail of the first two songs and make it about yourself, you got the permission from the highest authority.
There's no reason why other people shouldn't put other interpretations on it, which could be just as valid.
So there you have it. Now you know more. But if you want to know even more about Stairway and Jimmy Page, or maybe about Stevie Ray Vaughan, you can watch either of these videos. Bye for now.